as the New York Mets get a break last night. The Atlanta Braves lose to the San Francisco Giants, so no harm, no foul. In your loss to the Chicago Cubs, you don't gain ground, but the good news, of course, is you don't lose any ground. Everybody's up in arms, I suppose, over what took place last night in Denver. But I think for the wrong reason across the board. We'll get into that. Yankees back in action tonight, and it is day two of Robert Saleh coming after critical Jet fans and I suppose the media that has an issue with him when he is now doubled down, pardon the gambling pun, on his rhetoric from yesterday, which is, I'm saving all the receipts, meaning he doesn't regret saying it. He's happy that he said it. He probably feels some type of cathartic way that he said it. And he has now set himself up as persona non grata amongst New York Jet fans, meaning if the New York Jets have an embarrassing season this year, Robert Saleh is gone. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today?
It was all very judgy, all of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
great comparison.
Another comment he made that really pissed me off was he said, what people forget is that we inherited like an expansion team. That sounds like one giant excuse, Coach. And again, let's just deal with facts.
Yeah.
Adam Gase, who we ran out of town, rightfully so, won 9 games in his 2 years here. Are you going to win 9 games in your 2 years?
He might not.
Are you?
He might not.
Because that means you're going to have to win 5 games this year, which, by the way, would be a disappointing season. I want to make that clear.
By the way, it would be an unacceptable season and would warrant the conversation. Wouldn't guarantee it, but would warrant the conversation. Is he the guy to lead us out of the abyss?
Well, why was Joe Judge fired after 2 years in your estimation?
Well, 2 reasons. That press conference didn't help him, but he wound up talking a different language than what everybody else speaks. And in doing so, I thought lost a connection and touch with the fan base, and they did not win any games.
Well, that's the key. You have to win. But you can talk your way out of a job.
And that press conference was the final nail for him.
No doubt about it. It's only 1 week, but Robert Saleh began the process, and hopefully he doesn't continue the process because I want this man to be successful because I want the team I root for to be successful. But he began the process of talking his way out of here.
Yeah.
Between the excuses of, let's not forget, we inherited an expansion team, to taking on critics and fans. And even if he didn't mean fans, even if his angst was towards beat writers, it came across like, hey, Jet fans, if you don't believe in me and you don't believe in this team, then don't come back when we start winning. No. You don't tell us what to frickin' do. As diehard fans, we're going to criticize this team hard.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, well, guess what? That's a part of coaching or managing or playing in New York City. And right now, Craig, he sounds like a guy who doesn't get it. And it's very important when you're in this town to get it.
Yeah, listen, Tom Coughlin was criticized early on. Rex Ryan took his share of criticism, especially after the championship runs. That's part of the nature of coaching. Aaron Boone, who I think is a great example, has in a full season won 100 games. It'll be, twice at least. I mean, you may not get there this year, but he's made the playoffs every single year.
He won 100 games twice.
Yeah, twice.
In 18 and 19.
He may not get to 3. I said
gotcha.
It looked like that was a lock. It may not be anymore. Aaron Boone has been in the postseason every single year, and he is criticized like he knows nothing about baseball. And guess what? You know how Aaron Boone handled it? And I give him credit for this. It seems silly, but in light of Robert Saleh, I think I have to give Aaron Boone credit for this. He said, it was about a week and a half ago, I think we may have been on vacation around Labor Day, when the Yankees were still in that free fall, and oh my God, are they really going to collapse and blow a 15.5-game lead and not win the division? He said, if that happens, you guys will have plenty to talk about. He didn't shy away from it. He didn't come out and attack everybody. He didn't give you his resume. He didn't say, I've never had a losing season. I've been in the playoffs every year. He accepted it. He embraced it. He recognized that the fan base is passionate, that the people that cover the team are passionate about doing their jobs well. Same with the Jets. And what I'm trying to figure out is why there's not a single person, because I like the people that work at the Jets. I respect the people that work at the Jets. Why there's not a single person in the organization that told him that was a bad idea. Walk away from it. Don't do it assuming he consulted anybody before he said it. Because you're right, Evan. He did not specify the media. He specified everybody. He left it open that you, the diehard Jet fan who makes his entire Sunday plan around Jet football, whether that's tailgating and going to the game or watching from the comfort of your home or a sports bar, the guy that wears the Jet jersey, that wears the Jet hat, that lives and dies with every single win and loss, he included you. That if you have something bad to say about the Robert Saleh Jets, he's coming for you. Well, guess what, kid? That works both ways. And I promise you that if you want the ire of the diehard Jet fan, you do not have to ask twice. We are your Huckleberry. We're here, and we will engage you today.
And all we want, so simple. And the bar is so low, Coach. Like, you have to realize the bar the Jets have, I'd argue, is the lowest bar of any New York sports team, including the Knicks. I would, but you want to know why? Because the Knicks made the playoffs a year and a half ago. They were there. The bar for the New York Jets is so low, where all you've got to do is win 7 or 8 games, have relevant games in December, and a big part of this fan base will believe that you're the answer.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for. It's such a low bar.
And here's my bigger problem with it, and that is Robert Saleh likes to live as a coach by certain mantras, by certain sayings. They're the heart of who he is. When he first got the job here, of course, all gas, no brakes. And then, of course, on 4th and 1, he decides to punt and not go for it. So he has already been a hypocrite when it comes to the notion of all gas, no brakes.
It's been proven that those were just words. There have been no actions over the 18 games he's coached that would actually be consistent with we're all gas.
And if you wonder what I'm talking about, it was Garrett Wilson's first catch. He makes like 4 moves, like juked guys out of a phone booth. It was awesome to watch. It was very much like Kadarius Toney last year in a couple games for the New York Giants, where he got us in 4th and inches, 4th and 1, and we were on our side of the 50, to be fair about it. And his analytics guy, as he admitted yesterday, said, go for it. It's 4th and 1, go for it. And he punted. So the notion of all gas, no brakes is bullcrap. But I'll give you one that's better than that. He gave you and I a shirt when we were out there because I said, hey, I like that shirt. How come we don't have one?
Yeah, and I had a very different reaction to that shirt. Do you remember what it was?
2 minutes later, we had shirts and we wore them and took pictures with them.
Yeah.
Positive vibes only. So, again, I'm just asking the question.
Do you remember what I asked him about that?
I don't know what the hell you said. What did you say?
Coach, do you understand why we don't have positive vibes?
Yes, and he said because you're out to get us.
Do you? Right. So I'm asking him a very simple layup question. Do you understand why this fan base is not positive? It's a really easy question.
Yeah, it's called look at the end of the year 1-loss record every year.
Every year. And I admitted when asking that, it's not all about you. You're not responsible for Todd Bowles. You're not responsible for Adam Gase or the end of the Rex Ryan era. But do you understand why when I see a shirt like that, a part of me says, well, that's positive vibes only?
Yeah.
You're the worst franchise in sports over the last decade. And his retort to that was, well, I think a lot of people in the media root against us.
Yeah, they don't, by the way.
That's worrisome that the coach thinks that.
Yeah.
And that's what he's worried about.
But again, if you're a man that asks, grown men to follow you into quote-unquote battle, which is what football supposedly is, right? And I say that with all deference to the military, of course. And you wear a shirt proudly that says, positive vibes only, you lost 1 game this year. You're 0-1. And rather than come into the building or do interviews with quote-unquote positive vibes only and talk about the good things you saw on Sunday, and let's be fair, there were some good things. Sauce Gardner was good. The Jets' defense was pretty good. Obviously, they got to a point where they just couldn't sustain it, but there's some positives to take out of that defensive performance. Really nothing on offense other than maybe some late catches by Wilson, I suppose, if you want to go down that road. But what happened to the notion of positive vibes only? You're 0-1. The fan base is ticked off because offensively, you were offensive. You were non-competitive, and we're letting you know we don't like it. And rather than maintain the notion or mantra of positive vibes, you've now retreated into a corner and you're coming out with your claws up. That's not positive. You're engaging a fan base that is ready for a fight. Guess what? You're going to lose.
Yeah, if anything, you should be kissing the fan base's ass.
And I'll tell you something right now.
Because all we've done is watch bad football for a decade, including the 18 games you've coached.
And I'll tell you something right now. If you don't think the Jet fan base is already thinking about Sean Payton, if you don't think the Jet fan base is already thinking about Harbaugh at Michigan, if you don't think the fan base is already contemplating who they want to be their next head coach, you're out of touch. Because I know for a fact it's happening. And that's the bed that you made.
So what's out of touch is that if you want to have a fight with the media, like Madison Square Garden has, then have a fight with the media. When you make it as if you're fighting with us, the fans, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Every time.
Because we don't lose. So if Robert Saleh and anyone in this ass-backwards organization, and I'm sorry they are, because all they've done is lose for a decade, change the GM, change the coach, all we've seen is losing. What you need to recognize is you need to clarify that if you want to have a fight with Rich Cimini, I don't give a crap. Like last night, I don't care that Madison Square Garden ignored Mark Berman and had an event with R.J. Barrett and took away the media. Yeah. I don't care.
Well, we were also invited to it. So.
When you fight with the fans, that's when we care.
Right.
And what Coach Saleh's got to recognize is even if that's not what you meant, even if that's not your intention, you just want to fight with Brian Costello, you better clarify that when you open up your mouth and say, boy, if you're mocking us, you don't mock you, Jet fans, because we're pissed. Because you've won so little since you've gotten here. Don't fight with us, you'll lose.
How about this? I mean, if you made the point yesterday that you heard it on the TV. I didn't hear it, but I went back and listened to it, and you were right. And I missed it when the national anthem got played. And towards the end of the anthem, there were enough Ravens fans in the building on Sunday for you to hear them.
You heard the yo.
There are going to be Bills fans in the building. You're going to see and hear them. There's going to be on and on and on. And to me, if I'm the head coach of the Jets and I look up around at 80,000 seats all filled, but 20,000 of them are wearing the jersey of my opponent, or I recognize in the fourth quarter that the team I'm playing against is sitting their starters across the board because it's such a big lead, that should be what bothers you, not what some jackass on the radio says, not what the fans say when they boo you.
But wait a second. I think a lot of fans of the other team would be what Coach wants. Coach said, hey, if you don't believe in us, don't watch. If you don't believe in us, go away. Don't jump back on the bandwagon when we start winning. That's not how fandom works, dude.
Here's the thing he doesn't get. Being critical doesn't mean we've jumped off the bandwagon. To the contrary, we're on the damn bandwagon, and we're pissed at who's driving it. And there's not a single Jet fan, despite what a guy here, a guy there might say on the radio, I'm never going to root for them again or go to a game. That's nonsense. And what kills me is that I know the people that Robert Saleh answers to, other than Woody Johnson. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him other than what we all know about him. But somebody in that organization has to grab a hold of this and say, Coach, wrong direction to go. Matter of fact, he went out of his way last week to acknowledge how amazing it is when Jet fans are in the building and ask them to sing the national anthem. And I thought that was organic. I thought that was pure. I thought he meant it from his heart, and I thought it resonated. But, man, it took all of 24 hours to jump right off that hill.
Well, it's been
yuck.
It's been a week of just Jetsian stuff. Because a week and a half ago, I think we all had, to different degrees, you much more than me, but we had optimism about this season. And if you look at the last 8 days, from a Robert Saleh screwing up the Zach Wilson stuff, to the injury to Dwayne Brown, to the actual football game on Sunday, to Saleh's circus press conference yesterday, boy, what a week it's been for the New York Jets. What a Jetsian week we've had, from the optimism of 9 days ago to the mess we're staring at.
877-337-6666. We got lots cooking today. Of course, Jets will be a focus. A little Brian Daboll coming up today. Mets and Yankees coming up today as well. The Yankees are back at it. And if I'm not mistaken, Garrett Cole pitches tonight for the Yanks against Nick Pivetta at Fenway Park. So hopefully Garrett Cole is officially over his Fenway Park doldrums and gets the job done.
There's no evidence of that.
No guarantee of that.
His last start at Fenway Park wasn't good, and basically every start he's ever made at Fenway Park hasn't been good.
Yeah, it's not his place. But listen, he's the ace of the staff, they keep telling me. So
well, here's the good news.
Knock on wood, he gets the job done.
Here's the good news, Yankee fans. Garrett Cole has to start tonight at Fenway Park. That's true.
Yeah.
After that, he doesn't have to start there again this season because the Red Sox ain't making the playoffs.
Okay, still it'd be nice if you could get us a W there while Toronto and Tampa are playing each other. And hopefully they'll split a doubleheader today and the Yankees win without even doing anything. So we got lots to do. We'll take your calls. You're a diehard Jet fan. And if you're a Giant fan and you're listening to this, I see you smiling. I see you. Because this is exactly the same crap you guys went through last year. The exact same scenario that you went through last year. And I appreciate the smile. I like the fact that you're getting some level of joy out of what we're going through. But shame on you for enjoying it. Because you know what it's like. You know how hard it is to be us right now in the moment.
No, I can't allow you to say that.
I have to say it.
No, here's why.
I can see them all smiling at the radios right now.
Here's why.
Bunch of no good disgraziads.
Here's why. I collect receipts, too.
Oh.
And last year, while the Giants were going through their judgy and meltdown, you were laughing at them under the guise of, see, now you know how we feel.
Well,
so you laughed at them last year, and now your response is, you're not allowed to laugh at us now.
I don't appreciate you laughing at us, even though I laughed at you last year because you laughed at us the year before that. It's like this, game of ping pong.
Yeah,
we're
who
playing.
laughed first, by the way?
Yeah, and I'll say this. My laughter and enjoyment of what happened last year was really never targeted towards Giant fans. I commiserated with you people. It's that I just knew in my heart and soul that Joe Judge wasn't the right guy.
Let me ask you a question. Very serious question. No, you are, and I give you major props.
And to prove that, by the way, I saw a picture of Joe Judge in 95-degree humidity in Miami on Sunday wearing a sweatshirt. So, you moron.
So you made the decision Joe Judge wasn't the guy.
Yeah,
I think it was 16 games into his NFL career.
I knew. I just know. Sometimes you know.
Oh, no. Absolutely, and you were right, and I respect you.
Yep.
There was a time where Beningo knew about Eric Mangini. I never forget when it happened, and he deserves all the credit for that. So now we're 18 games in a Robert Saleh's career. Do you know?
I don't.
The jury's out.
Jury's out.
You haven't made a decision yet.
I do not know either way.
I'm open enough to say the jury is still out, but I'll tell you that pendulum is swinging in one direction, and it ain't good.
Well, but a pendulum can't swing in just one direction.
Oh, yeah. It's swinging in a certain way, and I freeze-framed it.
Well,
so I took a picture of the pendulum, and I stopped it as it's near the this guy can't coach here thing.
Nothing can swing in only one direction. It just defies the laws of physics.
A pendulum swings in a certain direction.
No, it does not.
Of course it does.
It has to, by rule, swing in both directions.
Yeah, but it's swinging in one direction for now. Then it's going to swing potentially the other way.
Then it's not a swing.
I'll tell you how.
Then it's just it just moved that direction.
Let me ask you this. So right now the pendulum is in the direction of this guy can't coach here.
Okay.
Jets go out on Sunday. Myles Garrett doesn't even sniff Joe Flacco. They run for 150 yards.
Right.
They win 27-10. The pendulum will pull back.
I understand the point. I like to be accurate when it comes to physics on this show because, as you know, I was a physics major in college and fell into broadcasting. But that's just my personal story, and we don't need to repeat it for sure.